red light down there. So we're all red. Super shuttle. You're fine. It's not like you're not on every other fucking camera in this town. Grow your brow. Better be on my camera than theirs. It's not like I can't take a shit without the NSA watching me. Some lady with a bitchy disposition earlier said to me, "You're taping me." Well, no shit, you're in a casino, bitch. Think about it. We're all being taped. The fuck? Especially me. 24/7 as it be. See, and we don't have... A lot of times the... well, since they control the grid, a lot of times... they control traffic. It's called apartheid and segregation of society. Hey, dear. The judge. I kind of dig that. Now you can't cross the street here in Vegas. I love Vegas, mind you, but you can't cross the street like on the Strip. You gotta go through the casinos and shit. It's very corporatized. Very little choice. What I do is I just hop those fucking fences. I don't do what I do, do what you do, but that's certainly what the fuck I do. You're not gonna cage me in. See that little guy over there? I think that's me, and they're saying don't do that, but certainly I have. Will continue to. They're not gonna trap me in. The great Nelson Mandela, who was later a political prisoner for 27 years. Certainly they tried to do that to me for years. Thankfully, the PD and such have come to the conclusion I'm not a bad person or violent or a child molester or a fucking rapist, a violent person. We'll just leave it at that. They quit. The feds, on the other hand, they like to control society around me and, you know, employ people in whatever area I go to agitate my life on purpose. And that's certainly something I would never take money for in my life. I take money for a lot of things, but throwing my fellow man and my earth under the bus is not one of those things I take. Go, you dumb shits, it's green. What happened to the horn? I'd be laying on that fucker. So, they can also use trains, not just the horns, but to slow people down who are making progress. I don't mind being on camera most of the time. I mean, it is true my mom didn't give me nearly enough attention growing up. So, but when I'm taking a shit and stuff and having the whole federal government, you know, creating focus groups on my every move, I miss the days when, I don't know, people of celebrity didn't mind being on camera. Or you know, now we're all walking around in wigs except me, and, you know, I understand. The entertainment industry, the great entertainment industry in this country, gets treated like shit. I have a lot of empathy for what they go through, because anybody of notoriety gets stalked, harassed, fucking kind of the same thing I've been through, except I started off as infamous. Hopefully one of these days I'll get paid for being famous. A beautiful thing, mind you. You can do a lot about anything you want with fame and celebrity you can create, which is kind of the reason I headed west in the first place years ago. Not just to Vegas, but San Diego and Los Angeles and Las Vegas and Las Vegas and San Diego and Los Angeles again. So I was saying on one of my posts, because I'm so much better well written than I am in speech. And speech is something I'm working on. Certainly I can cut a fucking promo from now. I don't know, when the red light's on, I'm pretty good. When I have time to think, not when I'm being agitated 24/7. Holy shit, what do we have there? That's not a commercial airliner. I think Barack Obama is shitting his pants somewhere. Good old B.O. It's like I was saying, you can't say that about the president. Yeah, I can. He's a piece of shit. He's a genocidal maniac. What? You can't say, yeah, he's a piece of shit. It doesn't mean I'm going to do anything to him. I wouldn't go near that fucker. I'm not a violent person, you know. Certainly his federal government has gone to every length to villainize me and intimidate the rest of the population through threats of incarceration or death. Yeah, the kill lists you hear about, well, they're true. You know, I certainly went through some shit I'm not going to talk about, but look at it. The fact that, well, they're controlling the weather, one, for negative reasons. Two, they're raining down gas on us, and whether or not you want to be here on Earth or anywhere else, that's your choice. And certainly if you have the means to go somewhere else in this planet, by all means go ahead. But we all have friends, family, loved ones, children down here on Earth. And I don't know, I take it quite personally that the federal government's gassing us all. Chemtrails, they're all true. Weather control for negative means, true. Look at Katrina, Sandy. Mass genocide. I mean, you can look around and see it. A lot of people deny the fact that it's happening because they're afraid. I understand that. That's where I have a gift. But yeah, just speaking up, you know, for everybody is not so much a job. It's kind of just how I roll. I would like to get paid for things like, I don't know, acting, my talents, you know, pro wrestling, a lot more. It might surprise people, a lot more behind the curtain, so to speak, than in front of it. I have a lot more interest in adding to the whole process. It's always been my philosophy that if I'm making money, if somebody's paying me, well, then I'm gonna do my damnedest to make money for everybody else and make the whole process better. You certainly won't find me working at a McDonald's, even though there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's one of the most stressful jobs and hard-working jobs there is, and they get paid shit in a country where there's enough money to go around. Certainly they got enough money to fucking surveil everything, pay the people to flip, and, you know, we got vehicles roaming around everywhere, surveilling and ratting on people, stooging them off. How much gas is going into this? I know they've spent, without getting an actual tally, hundreds of billions of dollars on myself following me for the past 7 years. I mean, that's just a rough estimate. That's one person. How about building walls on the border? You know, along the border. What the fuck is that? You know, we're all immigrants. Our ancestors are, whatever. We've got people from other planets coming down everywhere, which is all right. I don't have a problem with that. As long as they're not, you know, using our police forces against us and, you know, incarcerating and trying to tear down this earth. I said it long ago, and I mean it. Well, either I'll die here or I'll be the last motherfucker down here holding my middle finger high as you all fly off. I'm not going to dig my own grave, as one of my friends put it so well. Meaning, you know, I'm not going to be involved in jobs for demolition or genocide. I certainly, and I'm not afraid to say it, there's people that deserve not to be here, but it should never be decided on a formal government process, for Christ's sakes. I don't think man or animal was ever meant to be caged. And you look all around you, even though we're not in prisons, thankfully I'm not. I've been in prison. I'm not afraid to admit. At the age of 21, I committed 2 felonies, theft, second-degree theft, and second-degree forgery. They're crimes I did commit, and I did my time for them. I got out in 2004, February 20th. I've been in jail plenty of times since. A lot of it was for bullshit for like 3-4 years, especially on a local level in Sioux City, Iowa. But that's, thankfully, you know, they're still trying to set me up on a regular basis. It's just how it goes. But I forgot where I was at. Maybe it was, I usually say in this instance, maybe it was because of all the pot I smoked this morning, but I didn't smoke any pot this morning, unfortunately. If I did, I'd be in a much better mood, and my moods are kind of kinetic. When I'm in a good mood, everything around me goes better. If you don't believe that, kind of watch me go into a casino and watch the machines light up. People generally don't believe that until they see it. Even though I don't get paid for it, believe it or not, I enjoy people thriving. I think Castro once said, God, who was the president at the time? That piece of shit Reagan, who started the war on drugs, I mean the literal war against her own people, for possessing, ingesting possessing and ingesting substances. That's the, goddamn, isn't that stupid? You possess something, you ingest something. It's a non-violent, consensual act. It's against the law. What about conspiracy? Have you read the laws these days? They're so goddamn vague and wordy that they can use those to entrap anybody into whatever they want, and they certainly do. The Patriot Act, you know, threw all our rights out the window. They can do whatever they want, but certainly I think it's going to be the people, you know, that have to come together. I can't be the only one, you know, to overthrow the government. This government, I mean a genocidal government that is imprisoning, incarcerating our people and killing them on a mass level, gassing us from the airspaces. If you look all around you, you can see graves, and they're quite blatant about how they do that. They're emergency vehicles using to either, you know, distract from something they're doing, like snuffing somebody or darking them or murking them, whatever you want to call it, putting them in the ground. It could be one thing, or else they could do it to scare a lot of people. Generally, if I'm in the area, you'll hear a lot of sirens, and a lot of people don't like to be around me when there's a lot of sirens going around. The fact of the matter is, you're probably the safest fucking person if you're around me, because nobody gets fucking snuffed. Children don't get raped. You know, generally people don't go to jail. You know, it's always kind of been a thing I take pride in, kind of when all the attention's on me. A lot of other people get away with a lot of other things that really aren't that bad. I don't know, that felt good. I'm going to shut up now. I got to figure out how to make money so I can have shelter over my head and fucking running water and not, you know, basking in the desert sun. As much as I like to be outside, I also like to have a place to go. That's another thing. What do we got here? What the fuck? That's kind of bizarre. This is happening in real time, right? You won't see that on... I wonder what's at the end of this rope. I'm not going to find out, but... I remember once when I was doing concrete construction years ago, I was digging footings, and the foreman said I was digging too low. So I went and took some soil already dug up and put it back on. He said, fuck no, virgin soil only. I think that process went out the door a long fucking time ago. You know, I wouldn't have any problems if I were. I've never gotten my hands wet, so to speak, never killed anybody. I'm not a violent person, but, you know, I certainly would if I had to defend myself or others. But here's the thing, you know where a good place to hide a dead body? I used to go around asking people that kind of as a joke, but actually a good place would be right along with all the other death and dead bodies along the road and, you know, everywhere in society. It's kind of unusual to see an actual graveyard these days because they're everywhere. What I was going to say is it's a sad fucking state that there's plenty of shelter, food, water, resources, money to go around so everybody can have those things: shelter, food, water, resources, like phones and stuff, without the people, especially the people who can't afford it, without strings being attached, like government oversight, like religion and treatment shoved down people's fucking throats. People want to get treatment or religion, then let them do it on their own. Yeah, it's shit. But yeah, I'm an optimist, believe it or not. Often confused as the opposite, but I wouldn't still be alive if I didn't have a sense of humor. Very dry and sarcastic many times. But it's oftentimes when people are having a good time, I'm not, and they're having it at my expense. I would never do that to you. I don't know, you couldn't pay me enough. They put $6 billion in front of me. I'd piss all over it if they told me I had to throw my fellow man and my earth and my fellow people under my bus, be involved in demolishing communities and gassing airways that, you know, our children have to breathe in. And our children are, I don't have kids, believe it or not. I'm gay. Fuck. Oh my God. He isn't, no. Yeah, something I've never hidden since the age of 21, by the way. People are like, he's gay. No fucking shit. It's a very small part of who I am. I'm very much a man. That has nothing to do with somebody's, you know, heart or whatever. But yeah, that's just me. Generally, people don't say that to my face because that'd be kind of like stupid, but I don't. I'm done talking for now. Goodbye. Hey, I hear some music. That's the universal language. Cool. I used to say that. I didn't get across very well. Generally, when I used to say, turn up your fucking stereo, sing, or do whatever, you know, music's a beautiful thing. But generally people would turn them off and such, but I don't know.